So I'm a little bit ahead. I did a video of how to drill it apart a while back, but anyways, this is converting a 68 Impala rear door to fit a 67. They use different hinges. The top ones are the same as the 67, but you'll notice the bottom hinge is different. So what we've done is we've drilled this out of the 68. This was the hinge that was in this door. And I drilled this same piece out of the 67, which is already bolted in here. And what I've done is I cut, since the door was junk, I cut this piece here out of the door to use as a template. Now when you lay this template up here, you'll notice when the door's not in there, that the bottom hole, your most lower positioned hole of the 68 and 67 are the same, and the top one is just slightly off, so you have to just punch this hole here pretty much. So what I've done is I laid this up using the very bottom hole as a starting point, and I cut this piece so that it would lay right in the door, so I didn't have to worry about my height and width. Then I traced this hole and then trace this hole with a Sharpie. Then what I did is I drilled my four corners and took an air saw and cut out the square hole. And you can see where I stepped this one around, because you see it's just a little off from where this is. Now what I'm gonna do, and I've got it bolted in there, and you can see my original spot weld holes. And there's two up here and one down here in the bottom. So what I'm gonna do now that it's in the door where it needs to be positioned, we're gonna go ahead and weld this. This was the original alignment hole for the 68. The alignment hole for the 67 is right here. So what I'm gonna do is weld this up, weld this. I'll do a little bit of a weld around here, turning this into my new alignment hole, and I'll oval it out so it'll look factory. I'll weld this up into the hinge plate, and then I'll lay a little bead across the top of this. Do my plug welds up here and on the bottom, and then finish it up and dress it up. Then when you pull these out, and as I put these in to hold the hinge, I made sure that the squares all lined up like this. So you have this square hole here on your hinge. I started one, lined up the one, and then snugged the bolt, lined up the other one, snugged the bolt, and so forth with the holes that I've made based off this piece right here. So when you pull the bolts out, everything will be lined up just like that. So I'll get this welded up now and grind it down, and then I'll show you how it looks all finished up. Also, one thing for those of you who are going to attempt this modification, when drilling out your hinge, you will see the holes, and the 68 welds are in different spots than the 67, but you will notice there will be these welds here that you can visibly see on the bottom. There will be a weld right here that you could see, and a weld right here that you could see. This weld you wouldn't touch. Now this weld you won't be able to see like you can this weld, because what they did is they welded the hinge to the section of jamb on this door design here. They had the one weld to hold it together until they laid this inner piece, which welds up the side right here over it. So this weld, to find it, what I did is I took a piece of Scotch-Brite, came in from the door and brushed it, and it makes it visible so you can see where it is on the inside of the door. And then what I did at that point is used the mirror to double check that it was a weld, and then tried to go by feel and line my drill bit up with what I could feel on the inside and drill it. And these were drilled with an 8mm, because that's what's on the 68. But the 67 had 10mm spot welds, which just wouldn't take the outer rim off. As you can see here, it barely took the outer rim of the spot weld out. which will make it to where if you don't get the whole spot weld out, you'll have to fight it, and you don't want to be prying on this inside of your door, because one, you don't want to tweak it up. Two, you don't want to damage your outer skin trying to beat this thing out. You want to drill it square so that it falls out on its own. But it does have that one hidden weld. So, hope this helps people convert a 68 into fit in your 67, being that the parts are getting harder and harder to find. So, let's get this welded up, and then I'll make another video.